not going to go over everything that's been said tonight. I was disappointed to see this put on the agenda, frankly. Disappointed to see us for the town. We have... Oh, yeah, can you just state your name, please? Oh, sorry. Art Bassett, 58 Elizabeth Ave, current member of the school committee. I was disappointed to see this put on the agenda. I was disappointed to see us spending so much time on it. We as a town have so many prominent issues to deal with. The comprehensive plan, we've got a bond we need to implement. We have questions around all of these important issues. And frankly, spending time on this tonight is just, it's asinine, frankly. The fact that you've heard resident after resident, and by the way, just one person with a radio show that needs ratings come up here against the town. So resident after resident, folks from out of town, folks from Providence, all against this. And we're wasting valuable time. We're wasting time that could be spent on real issues. This is not an issue for the North Smithfield Town Council. It never was, and it should have been put on the agenda. Thank you.
Hi, I'm George Malian of 17 Bruce Drive. I'm a senior here at North Smithfield High School, and frankly, I'm confused. I'm very confused on why this item, this resolution, is even on the agenda. As I understand, this body's purpose is to organize and govern the town of North Smithfield, not to push forward personal political agendas. Mr. DePietro, frankly, this is a First Amendment issue, and respectfully, sir, the First Amendment your uncle died fighting for in Korea is the same First Amendment that protects Mr. Kapanen's right. I don't just see this as a social justice issue. I see it as a constitutional issue, a very large one, that it be. The First Amendment allows me the right to stand up and say exactly what I'm saying right now, and it also should allow anyone from the town of North Smithfield, particularly any town department or school organization, to purchase any gear that they want to. I'm very confused. This does not reflect the tolerance and acceptance that I know to be true here in North Smithfield. This is not the values that I've been a product of for the last 9 years. I know this does not reflect on our town, and I'm saddened to see this resolution even come to a vote tonight. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, come in. I didn't catch your name.
George Malian.
George what?
Malian, M-A-L-I-A-N.
Bailey, thank you, George. Okay, at this time, we're going to close the open forum portion of the council meeting. And we're going to move on to agenda number 4. I will move up the issue that everybody is here, but there are some things that we're going to take care of before we get to that. Agenda number 4, North Smithfield Town Council sitting as the Board of License Commissioners. A victualizing license, Hercules and Family Incorporated, DBA Hercules Beef Wings and Pizza. Is there anybody here representing Hercules? Come on up. We're just going over your paperwork right here. It appears that everything's in order.
Mr. President, the application from Hercules and Family Incorporated, we're sitting as the Board of Licenses for a victualling license for Hercules and Family Incorporated, doing business with Hercules. All the paperwork is in order. We've had the building inspector, the fire marshal, the tax collector's office sign off on this. I'd like to make a motion to grant the license for Hercules and Family Incorporated.
That's a motion. Is there a second? Roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Beauregard?
Yes. Thank you. Good luck.
So lots of product.
Okay, we're going to move up agenda item A under new business. Discussion by council or other action on award of bid for architectural design services in construction administration of the Forestdale Schoolhouse. This is from the North Smithfield Heritage Association. So you want to come? Somebody take it out.
Good evening, I'm Rich Keene, President of the North Smithfield Heritage Association. As you know, we're in the process of trying to restore the Forestdale Schoolhouse, and we've raised about $96,000 so far to do that. So we're able to initiate the process. The first step is to hire an architectural firm to do the design work for what has to happen. The restoration is kind of a complicated thing, but we want to make sure we get it right. We ask you to award the bid to the lowest bidders on Eastern Architectural Services. We've compared the people that have bid on the services, and we think that they'll do a good job and for the least amount of money.
Mr. Keene, you satisfied then with Eastern Architects?
Yes, we are.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Second that motion?
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Beauregard?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, authorization to sign, please.
Motion, Mr. President, authorization for the town administrator to sign off on this, for North Smithfield Heritage Association bid.
Is there a motion, we have a second?
Second that motion?
Roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Beauregard?
Yes. I think was everybody here for the shrub? All right, well, I'm going to move up the agenda item. It's on the new business, section D, discussion by council, vote or other action on resolution requesting the school committee and all municipal departments to refrain from purchasing Nike products. We're moving that right up.
Before we take that, may I say something?
Please do.
First of all, I am very proud that we have so many people. I was hoping it would even move to the high school, but we don't do that too often. I respect what you say, and I will fight for your right to say it. And people that know me know I would. The young girl that should Black Lives Matters, and we're talking about rhetoric, I say all life matters. In my family, it's the League of Nations. And in this town, I cannot remember a time when a minority chose to come into this town that was not accepted wholeheartedly. Whether it be congregation with the women, you know, I'm not going to say we call ourselves on a Saturday night at someone's house, from 80 to 20, everyone has always been accepted. As a teacher, to me, I wanted to reinforce in my students that your heritage is important. You embrace it. Learn about it. And make sure you write it down so that your children will tell their children. Someone mentioned that coming into this town, I've never seen anything racial in my classes.
This right here, this whole agenda.
In my classes, and speaking now, I think I'm.
We're not going to have any outbursts from the audience, all right? We're going to try to keep this civil. Everybody,
This-
you had the chance to speak.
It
Now we can
depends
speak.
the way you look at things. I wasn't looking, I don't care if he was purple, green, whatever. When I saw this, when I embraced it at this time, the kneeling was nothing. The dress, ridiculing, police or something, that upset me. I listened to your remarks and I respect them. Does it make me look at things through your eyes? Yes, it does. But as I heard remarks about this town, and saying that this one thing makes us a bunch of people that have no tolerance of a minority, that's wrong. I look here, have you ever not accepted what anybody in your home or in this community, where even if the market, you don't know them, I talk to anybody anyway. And if I don't understand them, I try to get where they come from, and it's very interesting, and finds out she moved next door to me. So you never know who you're going to talk to in the market. But this town is not one, and I just don't mean racial, I mean economically. Children from different stratas have always mixed wonderfully. And I can even tell you families that have opened and done and accepted and helped in their own way without taking away any self-pride. But to stand here and say this hidden agenda, at the time we read, went over it, in my eyes, it was a lot different. I'm still not. Mama. I'm still looking at this as a person who could have done it a lot differently. And for me to make a decision is very difficult. But please, I look at people here, good people, and they're not bigots. I would not live in a community that would make fun, would criticize, whether it be, and if you know our educational system, some of you men, we embrace students that have difficulties educationally. We got, and I always say, I never can remember, our high school team was one of what, two, our high school athletes, two, I say interdenominational, but integrated. Mr. Morris, is it integrated? What's that word? I went to the thing. When the basketball and everybody else?
Yeah.
Unified. I was unified. One of two schools in Rhode Island to be given this honor. And it was wonderful. And one of our athletes went to Seattle to participate from state. And guess what? And it was wonderful. So please, it puts me in a place that I cannot think of. You're going to take one incident and demean the people in this town and say you can't live here anymore, then you guess what? Maybe you shouldn't live here anywhere else, because in this lifetime, you'll be given decisions. They may be right or they may be wrong. You say, I am sorry, I made a mistake if it's wrong, and you build upon that.
Thank you. All right. You know what? We're going to, that's going to be the last time that I'm going to ask you not to speak out. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay? We're trying to conduct a civil meeting here, and you can have your hand up. The public meeting is, the open forum is over. So we're just going to continue now with the council debate.
Mr. President, Dan?
Yes.
Mr. President, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a soul in this room that does not love our country. We've all made sacrifices. Some much greater sacrifices than others. I'm the son of an 80% disabled veteran from World War II. He was a civilian employee in the Kentucky Police Department. He still wanted to wear that uniform. My brother became a police officer in the Kentucky Police Department. 99.9% of police officers are good people. They want to go home to their family wants them to come home to them. There's one thing that is also promising here. I saw two young gentlemen come and speak tonight, Griffin Deck and George Bailey. George, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. This is our future, ladies and gentlemen. They're articulate, and they do their research, and they come prepared. I'm proud of that. I tried to do some preparation. I can't. For those of you who know me, it may sound like I'm pontificating. It's not my attempt to pontificate. Our cemeteries are full of heroes. Whether they be law enforcement officers, veterans, those that came home, their lives were changed forever. I don't know Mr. Kaepernick. I probably could not carry the water for him. He's that talented. I know Mr. Beauregard. He's an honorable man. And we watched this evening. When people signed up, he allowed them to speak more than 2 minutes. He also allowed people to speak that had not signed up. So I believe he's a true believer in First Amendment freedom of speech. Much to his detriment. Mr. Beauregard, in his life as a law enforcement officer, has seen things that most of us would put us in post-traumatic stress. And yet he serves on this town council. He's a man that's retired and started a business, employs people. Right or wrong, whether you agree with his opinion, he has the right to say that, as does Colin Kaepernick. Everybody has an opinion, everybody's entitled to it. Neither of them are wrong. Mr. Deck talked about sweatshops and young children. That's corporate greed, ladies and gentlemen. And because the voice of the American people spoke up, there's now compliance in all these international foreign countries where they had used children and criminal labor. Those things have changed because of listening to the people. Nike is a marketing genius, absolute marketing genius. They've touched on an emotion. They have an obligation to their shareholders to drive the numbers. I just think it's divisive. I agree with both sides of this. This is, and to agree with my colleague to my right, Mrs. O'Hara, this is going to be a very difficult vote. We need heroes, ladies and gentlemen. And how, in your mind, you define a hero? Mr. Hoyle's a hero to me. 1966 during the United States Marine Corps. Probably in the Da Nang buildup about the airport somewhere around there. Don't know what you served, what you did in Vietnam, but you're a hero, sir. And this is how I look at heroes. To the basic person that gets every morning, goes to work, pays their taxes, they're heroes. There are so many heroes here. Let's choose wisely. The decision's a difficult one. And I'm honored to sit next to Mr. Beauregard. Thank you.
All right, so I made a few bullet points that I'm going to go over for this discussion. There's a lot of misinformation out there about exactly what this resolution is and what it is not. Let me explain exactly what it is and what it is not. This resolution is a request. It's not an ordinance or some type of requirement. There will be no action taken if the town department chooses to purchase any Nike products. You'll not get a phone call from me. It is just a request. That's all it is. So nobody's ordering the town. The town's not taking a position about not purchasing Nike products as a result of this. It's just that we're making a simple request, and that's all it is. There's nothing more to it. There's no teeth in this resolution. It's not an ordinance. And also, this has nothing to do with anyone taking a knee. Everybody who got up here and started discussing about we're against the Colin Kaepernick taking a knee and the whole football issue, disrespect to the flag, that is not even what this is about. Okay, so that argument is taking place on another front by other people, and it's not my argument. So if you think that's what this is about, then you've been misinformed. And it's not an attempt to inject the town of North Smithfield into the national debate. You might be surprised to hear this, but I support the football players and any other athlete that wants to kneel during the national anthem. I support any form of peaceful protest. I feel it is their right. Whether I disagree with them or not, I support their right to do it. And I'm also not asking anybody to burn their Nike gear, or even not wear it. I have a lot of Nike gear, including running shoes, and I'll continue to wear it. I don't have the kind of money to burn all my perfectly good equipment. However, when that gear wears out, when my shoes wear out, when my shirts need to be replaced, I'm not going to go purchase, I'm going to make a decision and not purchase Nike. But I'm not asking anybody to not wear their Nike equipment. And I'm not asking anybody to burn it. That's also been misleading. And this is not even directed at Colin Kaepernick. He has the right to say whatever he wants. Like I said, just because I don't believe in his cause, it doesn't mean I don't believe in his rights. And contrary to one news talk show, I'm not demanding that children not be allowed to wear Nike products at school. My daughter has Nike products. She'll continue to wear those products until they need to be replaced. And one of the criticisms that's been brought up by a number of the people is, why is the town council taking on this issue? Why am I taking up this issue when there is other important town business that I should be dealing with? First of all, I'm capable of multitasking, and so is this whole council. So we can handle more than one issue on the agenda. But most important, since when is standing up for something you believe in not a council issue? If there was a wrong being done to our police officers, why wouldn't I use my position to attempt to right a wrong? So am I taking advantage of my position as council president to bring an issue to the forefront? Absolutely I am. I admit that wholeheartedly. So why make this request? I was a state trooper for 25 years. I have a very different perspective about this issue than most of you. Colin Kaepernick has made numerous